Hello and welcome to the second entry in my video log documenting my progress to my Legion's Nagash army for Age of Sigmar. So if you haven't seen my first video, basically I'm intending to build 2,000 points of Legion's Nagash, ideally to play in Throne of Skulls in October, but hopefully I'll get them done before then. I have, since the first video, found out the Throne of Skulls tournament in October is actually doubles, so it'll be myself and fellow Sprues and Brewer Matt, who will be taking part in the event. We're both going to take 1,000 points each. I'm taking obviously 1,000 points to Legion Nagash. Matt is going to take 1,000 points of Tamerkin's Horde. So a very weird alliance, but it should be a great event to take part in. So I'm really looking forward to it being my first tournament. So where am I with my army? So in the first video, I explained I bought the Court of the Blood Queen. So I got a Mortarch, which I built as Ark in the Black. I've got 10 Graveguard. I've got 20 Skeletons. I also got 2 Morghast in that box. Now, YouTuber Malastine very kindly left a comment in my first video, and he recommended that I pick up a Necromancer to go with my army to fit in. So I have in fact picked up a Necromancer. So yeah, thank you for that. And he's done pretty well. So so yeah, what you know, how far have I got with painting them? So I've been working on my skeletons. So I've got most of them painted now, although they do need to be based. So I'm not sure how well they're going to come up on this screen. I might have to try and take a picture of them, or you can see them on our Twitter pages and social media. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. There's another one. Again, you can't really see him, so I might put some pictures in there, overlay or something. So yeah, I've been working on those, hoping to base them in the next couple of days. I've also started painting a Morghast. So again, there we go. I like to think my painting is starting to come on, especially over the last 12 months. Thanks a lot to sort of Matt and a few of my other friends who have given me sort of different tips and techniques. I mean, the scheme for these guys is really easy. I actually borrowed it from the Battle Tome, the Legion's Nagash Battle Tome. So it's a white undercoat, and then Seraphim Sepio gives that really cool bone effect. And then obviously I've done all their cloth and armour, and then sort of a heavy wash of Agrax Earthshade gives it a really good sort of ancient look to the metal, like a rusted effect. So yeah, I really like that. So I'm intending to get those guys based the next couple of days and finish off my second Morghast, and then I'll move on to Arkan. So yeah, it's a little bit slow going. I'm hoping to sort of get most of this part of the army done in the next 2 weeks. I have had a couple of games with them. Now, because we wanted to have 2,000 point games, I don't have 2,000 points at the moment, so I did borrow Matt's Nagash, because I originally intended to have him in my list, but we'll come to that in a moment. So I was using his Nagash along with 5 Hex Wraiths. So yeah, I've had a couple of games with them. The first game I had was against Tamerkin's Horde, and they did really well. It was a minor victory to me. I was really looking forward to using Ark in the Black's Curse a Year spell. Now, all the battle reports I'd seen on YouTube, it's never done that great, and you know, you're looking for 6s out of 10 dice. The odds aren't amazing, but the first time I came to use it, in the first turn of my first game of my Legion's Nagash army, it wiped out a unit of Plague Ogres, so I was really impressed with that. Since that first cast though, it's gradually got worse, to the point where in my last game, I think it may have done 1 mortal wound in the entire game, although Arkan did die pretty quickly to some Evocators. So yeah, I'm kind of getting a bit ahead of myself there. So yeah, I had a minor victory against Tamerkin's Horde. I then had another game against Tamerkin's Horde and lost a few days later. And as you may have guessed by me mentioning Evocators, I've also played Jason, fellow Sprues and Bruisers Jay, his Stormcast army, who are incredibly powerful. He fully used we were battling the realm of Shadow, and he utilised the room rule where you could sort of go off the edge of the battlefield and come onto a different edge. He used that to maximum effect, and yeah, really put me to the sword. My army did, you know, do well in places, and some units, you know, performed quite well, but I did unfortunately lose that game. A couple of things I've picked up in those games. Nagash is an absolute beast, especially in the first game. He did well in the second game, but he had a couple of not so great turns against Jay's Stormcast, and with him being such a massive amount of points, 800 points, if an 800 point character has even a slightly iffy turn, that is almost half of your army in one model not doing that great. So I don't know if I'm going to actually aim to get him in my first 2,000 point list. Eventually, I'd like to think I'm going to pick up quite a mixed Death army over the next few months. But whereas he was going to be my next purchase, now I'm not so sure. I think I'd rather reinvest those 800 points into maybe a couple more lower level wizards, maybe some more skeletons, or some Nighthaunt, because obviously a lot of the Nighthaunt that are in the Soul Wars box have now been FAQ'd into Legion's Nagash army book, and things like the Chain Rasp Horde, you know, that they're almost the same points as skeletons, but they get this 5+ save that's unaffected by rend. And yeah, I mean, what's also tempted me to get some Nighthaunt is the Hex Wraiths that I borrowed off Matt that I've used in all 3 games have all performed their job really well. And having that 4+ unmodifiable save was brilliant, and they held up objectives. They're very quick. And in the second game, I actually resummoned them after they died, and they nearly won me the game by sprinting across or racing across the battlefield to try and grab an objective in the final turn. Unfortunately, I was denied it, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be continuing to use Hex Wraiths. A lot of people online have sort of said they're not that great, but so far, you know, yeah, they've done well for me. The Necromancers also perform quite well, just having that sort of cheap additional wizard, casting spells, you know, making my skeletons attack twice as well. That's paid off. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun. It's only really been Nagash that I've got this sort of question mark over. You know, do I take him? You know, in my first 2,000 point list that I'm aiming for. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, if any of you are watching this and you've got Legions of Nagash armies, how do you find Nagash? You know, is he worth me picking up sooner rather than later? Like I say, I'll eventually pick him up because, I mean, I'm collecting Dead Army. I've got to have the Lord of Death, haven't I? But I don't know if he's going to be in my first 2,000 points fully painted army. We'll have to wait and see. So that really brings me to the end of this update. Like I say, I've got quite a bit more painting to do yet, and I'm also intending to pick up some new Death units to add to this army. Next more painting, I think I want to do Ark in the Black once my Morghast are finished and my skeletons are, the bases are done. I think I'll finish Ark in the Black then, and then I may move on to my Graveguard. I've got 10 Graveguard to paint. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and I shall be back hopefully sooner rather than later with my 3rd update. But until then, thank you for watching, and keep gaming. Bye.